Ladies and gentlemen of the internet, welcome. So here today with chapter 124 to 128 of Oyasmi Punpun. Good night, little Punpun. So far the story has been going in many different directions. Now we've got the couple. Well, not just a couple, there's a third part to it, but the third part hasn't been really seen in the story. But we've got a couple, or maybe a triple, of broken people that are just, well, actually no, we've got more than just that even. We've got a lot of broken people, alright? That's basically the gist of the story. We've got a ton of broken people, a ton of people that, I wouldn't say are lonely, but more so are fall on in despair. They feel like outsiders, outcasts, and the outcasts come together, the people, and just to feel what despair is. Basically, that's the story so far, where things are, in the best way that I can describe it, no bueno. Things are not going too well for our characters. They're kind of on the run. They're kind of hiding. They're not hiding, but they're kind of on the run. They're kind of trying to find their place in life, and we all know how difficult that can be. We all know how difficult it can be to find what we're meant to do, find what we want to do, find whether those things that we initially thought we wanted to do are still the things that are important to us. I think a lot of us have gone through troubles such as these, myself included. I've recently come to realize myself that the goal that I've always had, which was to be this overlord of the entire world, I know, childish goals, I know, to have a legacy that will last the ages. That has always been my goal, to have a legacy that even once I'm dead will still survive. Very much in the spirit of when does a person die, when they are forgotten, basically trying to never be forgotten through a legacy. I very much come to realize that that is a foolish notion, and that the thing that I truly actually seek is success. It's not a legacy, it's success. And that is difficult to define, because what exactly is success? Is it money? Is it power? Is it wealth? I haven't found the answer just yet. Probably because I don't have money, power, or wealth. I know wealth and money are typically considered the same thing. They're not. In my eyes, they're not. All right. But if you want to contribute to my wealth, you can very much click on the ads that are playing during this video. That will very much contribute to me making wealth and money. Maybe even power. Maybe that will help even with power. I doubt it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, chapter 124 of Oyasumi Punpun. We're changing over from where we're reading it from Mangadex to now Manganello, because Mangadex is down. It's it's not gown, but it's down. So Manganello is what we will be using to read Oyasumi Punpun. Awesome. Ninja. But the annoying, you guys can't see it, but the annoying thing with Manganello is that it just has so many ads. Speaking of ads, if you want to click on mine, I'm joking, but it just has so many ads that constantly pop up. Nanjo, and that's why I told you to be more honest with yourself. Oh my Kenny, there's some good meat you have. That chunky fatness. The camera is significantly further up than usual. I just realized, because I was trying to show you my chunky goodness, but you still can't really see it. But oh well, maybe am I getting slimmer? Last time I weighed myself, I was 10 kilos slimmer, but 10 kilos not really that much. Is it? I don't know. Oh my Kenny, there's some good meat you have. Life is full of times when you realize how precious something was only after you've. That is very much true. Yeah, that's true. True words have rarely been spoken. Hello. That's gonna be an interesting. That's gonna be an interesting talk. Very interesting talk. Okay, people who were close with Onodera. Let me think. I don't think he had any female friends. No kidding. What, with that cowardly personality? Oh, my goodness. Oh my goodness. Kick a man while he's down. Well, I guess he's probably up right now, considering he's with Aiko, but still. But even though he didn't really stand out much during high school, there wasn't really anyone who spoke ill of him either. I could have sworn his lack of self-confidence was caused by some traumatic experience during his school year. I mean, sort of. Sort of. My impression of him was that he was too serious for his own good, and a little stubborn as well. It almost seemed as if he couldn't tell a lie. Is that what you liked about him, Azusa? Oh, no. I never actually liked him. It's just, I guess it was me just wanting to have an adult moment, having finally become a high school student. Whoa, you listening to your sister? Sounds like she's shattering your image of the perfect, pure little sister. Like I care. Okay. Okay. All right. Absolutely no care in the world. Whoa. Innocence. The innocence. Well, we saw how Punpun acted with innocence towards her, didn't we? Like, and she's like, no. And he's like, oh, my whole life is ruined. But she's like, no, I'm not going to tell anyone. Don't worry about it. But no. And no means no. But even after the incident, he still talked to me every now and then, and we sometimes hung out together along with our other friends. It really seemed like he tried hard not to make things awkward between us. So he was nice, to put it simply. Oh, so he was one of those guys. Being that considerate just has the opposite. That's true. Yeah, that's true, right? That's true. People that like to be stepped on, I'd much rather do the stepping. If I'm smart right now, I'd play the JoJo meme of like everyone stepping on somebody, but nah, I'm lazy, not smart. That's not to say I like cocky, opinionated guys do. It's just that Onodera has such a low opinion of himself. I think it's because he's too self-conscious. Yeah, a lot of people. He'd be better off if he could genuinely ridicule others. You don't need to be a bully necessarily to just do not be stepped on. Being nice can be a disadvantage in some ways. Nice guys always finish last. Man, I'd kick his ass if he ever acted like such a big shot. Oh, he's doing pretty well for himself though, you know. He might be a freeter, but at least he's supporting himself and studying for his license, and he never grumbles about it to boot. Fair enough. I'd prefer a guy like that over one who has talent but always blows on his own horn. Okay. But I suppose you wouldn't want him to be too independent. After all, you love having a little pet utterly dependent on you, right? Mistakenly thinking that he's the only one who could ever understand you. You love to keep him leashed around, spoiling or spanking him, depending on your mood. Who's a good dog. You really think you can understand what kind of person he's really like, or that kind of attitude? I feel sorry for you if you can only have such a deluded relationship like that for the sake of your pride. Now you're hitting deep. Now you're attacking her too much. Come on now, let up. If your friends let up, then are you saying Punpun can really make it alone? Can't you see anyone else's opinions but your own? You're always overlooking others and making quick judgments about them, based only on your narrow perspective. I just want to point out how silly that is. To put it another way, I'm not just a fadass, despite what you might think. I mean, hey, okay, well, I mean, I'm a fadass, and that's basically all there is to it. So, yeah, if you think that about me, hey, fair enough. Did something happen to Onodera? No, not really. They're going out with him, aren't you, Sachi? That's exactly why at the beginning of the video I was saying it's really free. It's not just two broken people; it's free. They are all in this mess that just isn't letting up at all. Huh? Misatsu, where's your father? Oh, he's probably busy flirting with the women in the rehab room. Okay. This is the person in the whole entire manga that I feel the most sorry for. I know people are like, oh, Punpun, I should feel sorry for Punpun. I do. Everyone else, okay, cool. But this right here is the dude that I'm like, bro, you got fucked over. You got fucked over badly, bro. Like, just get tackled by a random security guard and now you're in the hospital forever. It's like, bro, this guy got screwed. And that's not fair. That's not fair, man. It's not cool at all. It's not cool at all. He's really gotten much better these past few months. In fact, he's become even more talkative, that he's starting to annoy me. Okay. My goodness. A guy's in a wheelchair and now he starts talking more. Wow. And now he's annoying you. Wow. He hasn't talked this much since I was a little girl. The doctors say he won't be able to use his legs again. Fun story. I had a dream yesterday, right? Completely unrelated, but I had a dream yesterday. It was a silly dream. It wasn't even a dream. I was still awake. I was like half asleep. Like I was trying to sleep, and I just had like a scenario play out in my head because I was like half asleep. I was trying to fall asleep, and I just like, you know how the YouTube rabbit hole goes, where you click on one video and suddenly you clicked on 10 videos, and it's like, oh, well, how did I get here? Suddenly I'm watching videos about dogs hugging and dogs attacking people. I'm like, whoa, how did I even get here, right? So that's basically my thing I was going through while trying to sleep. And one video I came across was like people who are dying, or who thought they were dying, their last messages, you know, and obviously those people got saved ultimately, but like they thought they were dying. Some of them fell off a cliff. One of them was in the water, thinking that he's gonna drown, and then the helicopter found him last minute. The person that fell off the cliff got found as well after like 24 hours being like falling off a cliff with like broken bones and everything, like suddenly being found. And I was like, I put this scenario in my head, right? I know this has a little to do with this, right? When I put this scenario in my head, what if I fell? How would I try and handle things? And I had this whole scenario. And it's like for about an hour. For about an hour, I was like lying on my bed, just like not moving a muscle, like trying to think, okay, well, what if I just shattered? What if I fell around like 100 meters off a cliff or something? I'm just like lying there, on like you know, let's say it's a cliff. The scenario I had in my head was like a 300-meter mountain, right? And I fell about 100 meters, and I landed at like a spot where like I'm like 200 meters off the floor still. I'm still on the mountain, but I fell about 100 meters straight down. I'm like. So I was like, okay, what would I do in that scenario? For about an hour, I was just lying there, like it's like very uncomfortable, like that. Very stupid of me, but I was just imagining that scenario. I was like, how would I go about it? So the first thing I thought, okay, can I move my neck? Yes, okay, that means my neck is not broken. Can I move my toes? Okay, that means my spine isn't broken. Can I move my right leg? No, okay. Did I land on my right leg? Yes. Can I move my left arm? Sorry, my right arm? No, that means I must have landed on my side. Okay, cool. How's my breathing? It's steady. Can I feel my stomach? No. Am I bleeding? I can move my left hand. I can move my left arm. I'm not bleeding on my left hand, on my left arm. Let me feel my head and see if there's any blood there. Yes, okay, a little bit of blood here on the sides. Blood, okay. So I was like lying there for like an hour, like just like slowly like, am I bleeding? Like literally like shaking and everything just for an hour. Like in worst case scenario, it was really stupid yesterday. I was really stupid, right? But like ultimately, I was like, okay, let me turn on my phone. I had my phone next to me. That somehow survived the fall. But let me turn on my phone. And I'm like 200 meters off the ground where I still have signal. Let me turn on my phone and stream everything that I'm doing to YouTube. Just so like I might get found. Alright? It's just that I might get found. Like, hey guys, so I'm dying. so I'm in the middle of nowhere, this random mountain that nobody else is on, and there's nobody looking for me at all. And I just fell. I'm gonna have to. I've got about 30 minutes. I put myself like this arbitrary time. I've got about 30. I don't know. It has nothing to do with Punpun. I got about 30 minutes, right? And I need to climb downstairs because if any longer, and I won't survive. I can tell that I'm bleeding. There is a hole in my stomach. It might have pierced my intestines. I've got about 30 minutes to survive. I've got about 30 minutes to get to the bottom of the mountain where I'm more likely to be found than right here. Right, my only shot of surviving is to climb down with basically just my left hand, my left arm, and my left leg, because my right arm and my right leg are fucked up. Right, so I was like, okay, I won't survive this, and I even put the phone in my mouth. I was like, okay, here, I'm gonna try and like climb all the way down like this. And if the phone falls, you know, I'm dead. that's basically the thought I had in my head. It's like, okay. And then I was like climbing down I was actually like climbing down my bed. I was like, I don't know why, right? And like sometimes I get these very stupid scenarios in my head, and I'm like, I have to play them out. I have to like, it's a stupid half awake, half asleep dream scenario, but I had to play it out. There was no way I could like play it out. I could stop and just like be like, okay, what? No, that's a stupid scenario. No, I had to finish the scenario. Unfortunately, I died. Unfortunately, I didn't make it down in time. I fell. Ultimately, my strength gave out, and then I fell and splat, and I died. That's kind of the scenario. I tried doing the best I could, but ultimately, in my head, I couldn't get down in time, and then ultimately my strength left me, and I fell about give or take 70 meters head first and splash. So that was my dream scenario. That's how I envisioned myself going out yesterday. Funny enough, will that ever be the case? Well, I'm planning on climbing mountains next year. So, woo! Well, if you suddenly see our YouTube live stream of me be like, "Yo guys, I'm dying," well, maybe because I died in my own scenario, my half asleep scenario, maybe I'll survive in real life. Who knows? Anyway, back to Punpun. That was our scheduled little water break. I didn't drink water, but that was our scheduled water break. They like to say he won't be able to use his legs again, but I suppose I should take solace in the fact that he didn't end up passing away. Oh, in case you're wondering, it was Onodera who brought all those Maneki-Neko dolls. Something cat dolls. I don't know where he gets them, but he comes 2 to 3 times every week to drop off somewhere. Oh, Punpun comes by here that often, yes, and he always heads to our office afterwards to use our computer to study for his license exam. Has he still not come back yet? I'm still looking for him. Well, I hope he comes back soon. My father misses him a lot. Here, this is the key to his place. Oh, thank you. If anything about his place seems strange, don't be afraid to call the police. Hey! He's got his MOS exam coming up, not to mention the online courses left for his real estate license. We can't have him get wrapped up in some sort of incident at such a critical time of his life now, can we? Right. That kid's too self-conscious for his own good. Did he know he's been stupidly trying to hide how hard he's been studying? Haha, strong effort's one of those things you just can't hide. I've actually been talking with some business associates of mine to see if I can arrange an interview for his life. This is gonna make... shit, I just realized. His life is heading in a good direction. But the murder is gonna be found, isn't it? And that's gonna bring him down. When his life finally could have headed into a direction where, you know, he's sort of sorted. I know that's not exactly what he's been after, but a stability. Stability alone can get you a long way. You know? Stability alone can help you tremendously, and it feels like just as he would have probably had stability, it's ripped apart. It's ripped apart. Oh, that reminds me. He should have received the result of his PC proficiency test by now. I promised that I'd buy a new computer for him if he passed, you know. Oh, I never heard about any of that. Well, you're busy with your manga career. I'm sure he didn't tell you because he didn't want to distract you. You didn't know that much about him yet after all, did you? Just what? Do I actually know about Punpun? PC proficiency test. The blood splatter. Yeah, it's not really blood splatter. Just what the hell is that idiot doing? It's a different kind of... Well, it is blood splatter, but it's a different kind of blood splatter. Yeah. Yeah. PC proficiency test. Grade PC 3. I'm not sure if he passed or failed, but I can't tell. Grade 3, I'm assuming he passed then? This is to certify that you have successfully demonstrated the information communications technology of skills. Okay, so he's passed. Alright, he's passed. Life would have been rosy. Beep, 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 beep. What a wimp. Well. Things would have been rosy. It would have been rosy. June, so we're actually getting time progression. We're actually getting like an updated time progression. That's pretty neat. Sorry, I know it must have been a long way coming here, but I'm afraid I don't know where he is. Oh, no. I should be the one apologizing for coming on such a short notice. Well, in any case, why don't you take a seat? I see. So he actually was using that cell phone, was he now? He never picks up when I try calling him, so I thought he wasn't using it at all. Are you a friend of his from work? What was your name again? Oh, it's Nanjo. It's been a long time since we saw Mr. Uncle. It's been a long time since we saw him. Well, Nanjo, don't you think it'd be better if you held on to this? After all, I can't imagine him actually coming here just to find a cell phone. Miri, why don't we just send the phone back to his apartment? His friend here says he hasn't been home recently. He's also not been going to his part-time job either. Though I'm a little worried, that child doesn't like it very much when I meddle with his life. I'm sure he's fine in any case. Punpun's a good, hard-working kid after all. I mean... Have you talked with Punpun recently? This is getting difficult to read, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. There's like all this like... There's just all these conflicting things that are happening, right? Well, my husband... have you talked with Punpun recently? Well, my husband last talked with him on New Year's, so I guess it's been half a year since I last spoke with him. He sounded very happy when I told him I was pregnant, right? I can see your belly's gotten quite big. Yes, next week is my expected delivery day. Oh, he's gonna miss this as well, isn't he? And I can feel that's a chunk of ice, basically. It's basically water that I put... Well, you can tell. It's evolving water that I put in the freezer because I like my water... Ice cold. Ice cold. Ice friggin' cold. It's too cold. But now the ice is starting to crack. I think the bottle, the plastic bottle... no, it's not. Anyway. Although I won't be able to manage a shop for some time after the birth, I'm actually thinking of expanding out to a second shop. It'd be nice if you and Punpun could come and visit us once I've got it up and running. Manager, you have a call waiting. Sorry about my wife. It can be a little hard to get through to her. She's having a good life as well now. She's, successful. Which is what she's always wanted. She's probably one of those people who thinks the world revolves around her. But that's also why she can carry out things so well without a hitch. A wonderful trait. Nanjo, you're not just a simple friend of Punpun from work, are you now? He can tell. He can tell! Just takes up his glasses like, yeah, I can tell. To tell you the truth, I've attached myself to Punpun for entirely selfish reasons. I'm sorry, I have no idea where to find him. Though I am his blood relative, our sense of family has always been rather flimsy. When I checked his house, I found some girls' clothes along with blood-stained bed sheets. Inside the garbage can were some semen-crusted tissues. He searched for his house. I even sniffed the tissue wads. I'm creepy, my goodness. I thought you were just lying in it. I thought she was just in the bed, just like... How could you do this to me? But no, she was actually sniffing them out. She was like... oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yes, quite. But at the same time, I also find you quite commendable. In what way? In what way? Like, I can't... Here's the thing, right? I can't relate to these characters. I can't relate to most of these characters. I can relate to them in some aspects, but in the grand scheme of things, I can't relate to these characters. Because, like, I cut off people very easily. And I'm one of those people, like, okay, when I'm in a relationship, right, I cut off with people extremely easily. Like, once the relationship is over, it's like, okay, cut off the lead contact, cut off, never speaking to them again, never thinking about them again. Like, that's basically me. I'm like, okay, done. Yeah, I just... done. I can't really relate to people that, like, at all, like, I need you back. You're such a huge part of, like, no. No. The second it's not working out, okay, cool, yo, I'm out, yo, peace out, have a nice day, arrivederci, see you later, until next year. You know, until never. Not next year, until never. That's basically me. So it's difficult for me to actually, like, relate to these characters on, like, a fundamental level. This is the house Punpun lived in until middle school. It wasn't even that old of a house, but as they say, out with the old, in with the new. I'm sure the newly built house will be a home to a happy family. Why did you bring me here? Thinking back... What the heck is happening to the water? Okay. It feels like it's about to explode. But I've had, like, frosted water. I call it frosted water. Ice water. I've had that every day. And it's never made that much noise. But this one, I don't know whether you guys can hear it or not. But this one is like... And it's not even open. Like, when it's open, I can understand it. But it's not even open. Thinking back on it now, the few years during which Punpun and I lived together were blissful. Even though we both knew things Even though we both knew things couldn't stay like that forever, or perhaps it was because we knew it was only temporary, and we did our best to play the part of a happy family. So he gives a... What does he give her? Piece of paper? That's my assumption. That's what it looks like. Though I've now found peace with my new family, I'm just a mere husk, trudging along day after day by clinging onto something known as hope only in name. Nevertheless, I have no intentions of denying my fate. After all, a part of me had wished for this. To be honest, I don't mind whatever Punpun is doing wherever he is, as long as he himself made a choice to do it. Because you see, I understand him. I know what it is he's really longing for. Though he's rather aloof and taciturn. Is it? I can't even see what he's saying. Though he's rather aloof and taciturn now. Taciturn. That's an actual word. Of a person reserved to uncommunicative in speech, saying little. No wonder I didn't know what that word is, because I say I'm the complete opposite. He used to be a much more talkative boy who freely showed his emotions. If you intend on bearing the burden of becoming his partner, you ought to learn more about Punpun's true self. Especially because you're just like his mother. I don't know whether that's a good or bad thing, honestly. When I called him last New Year's, he told me he had someone he wanted to introduce me to. I'm guessing that person was you, Nanjo, wasn't it? Seemed like such a long time ago, those two. Ah, the times they do fly. Can you hear that? Did you hear that? I just saw it as well. I was like, oh, that's cool. I want to open it, but it's going to splash everywhere. I know it's water, but it's going to splash everywhere. But you know what? No, that's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted. But you are going to see this. No, never mind. I thought that'd be a splash. There's some driplets of water, but that's about it. And it's fizzing. Wow. 3 whole drops of water. Amazing. 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 My hands are cold. Anyway, hi. Am I supposed to infer that, like, that's how Punpun actually looks like? Well, obviously, it's scribbled out, but am I supposed to infer that's how he actually looks like? I don't know. I don't know about that one. What? You're pregnant? Yes, sorry for the late notice. Oh no, no need to apologize. Congratulations, actually. But I must confess that that is a little worrying. You see, the chief editor has taken an interest in your one-shot in our latest issue set to go on sale tomorrow, and he wanted to inquire if you could perhaps turn it into a 2-volume long project. I'll gladly do it, of course. So because Punpun wasn't there, no abortion. Okay. 2 volumes in about half a year. A more flawed... Actually, no, sorry, there's more to read. 2 volumes in about half a year. That means I really have to get cracking. I'm more flawed than others, so the only way I can place myself on the same starting line as them is through sheer effort. I've got to give it my best shot till I turn off manga and finally become normal. Again. Broken people left, right, and center. But... once that happens, just who can I share my joy with? The hair's in the way. Punyama Punpun Papa, Fukushima, Iwaki City. So that's what he gave her. The address to his father, okay. The manga of broken people. The first one you see is Ico. The manga of broken people, broken characters, broken homes, broken relationship, broken everything. That's basically what we're having. This should not be called Oyasumi Punpun. It should be called Broken Punpun. Like, it's difficult, alright? Just having seen her goof off account balance. Well, it's not that much. See a pin and pick it up. All day you'll have good luck. See a pin and let it lay. Bad luck you'll have all the day. We may have to sleep in the car for a few nights. Where is my kiss? Sorry. You know, that's not what I'm asking for. Okay. Well, born to be wild. June 26th, 5 p.m. I'm going to have to start keeping track of the time. I'm just saying night. June 26th, night. Rain again. Always raining. Can never see the Milky Way. How sad it is for those two to be separated for so long. Keep your eye on the wheel. June 27th, morning. Huff, 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 huff. Taking pills. Huff, 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 huff. Where are you two up to? Oh, yeah. The knives. Scalers, everything. What are you doing? I'm writing this for Tanabata. Well, stop. That's so stupid. What a lame purse. Cynicism. Stop. I'm really not in the mood for this. Hang on a sec. I'm trying to think. Aiko. I wish I can become a space scientist. A what? Well, there's more than the start that's wrong. The become is wrong as well. I told you to stop. No! So that's what this relationship... I mean, we've already had hints of that, but like, that's what this relationship is really heading towards. No, stop, sniff. And everyone's just looking. Don't worry, it's just a normal lovers spat. And I thought they all just went on their own business and just left, but no, they're all still there. So quit Sarah. Nah, the lovable Punpun, the little brat we saw is now this. The lovable Punpun that we all saw at the beginning. That was in a broken... Well, it is like they say. People from broken homes, what they see, they tell themselves, never. I'd never do that. And then ultimately, that's who they become. Nature or nurture. So quit staring at us, you dipshits. Clack, 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 clack. Punpun. Your back is burning up. Do you have another fever? You should get some sleep. Prison term for... Oh, that's what you said. That's what you said. Like, prison term for murder. We're almost at Kagoshima now. Let's find a proper place to sleep once there. Aiko. Like, murder on the run. Just what am I doing in a place like this, Punpun? You can't go dying on me. Suicide... You can't go that, so please don't die. Did I really kill a person? That weighs heavily on your conscience. The number 20 has now arrived. The RB code number 177 train headed for Sendai is Tokyo to Fukushima. Is that? Yeah, it is. It really is. Weird scenario. Very weird scenario, I must say. Where we saw how he got here, we saw how all the characters got here. But it almost feels surreal. It almost feels surreal, right? It almost feels surreal, but it is also what it is. She looks like she's kind of amazing with the short hair. June 28th. Actually, no, really good with the short hair. Really like the short hair. Although I usually dig a long hair, but it looks really good with short hair, I must say. Nursing home for the elderly. Ah. Mr. Punyama, he's out walking with one of the residents right now, but he'll be right back. Mr. Punyama, there's a visitor here for you. She's a young woman with all the way from Tokyo. Oh, hello there. Oh, so he's looking. Okay. Okay. I thought he was in a nursing home. I think that's basically what they were trying to allude to. Yuichi has already filled me in on the details. So Punpun hasn't been home for a while now, has he? Well, you certainly do seem like a strong-willed girlfriend. Must be hard living together when you're both a couple of 20-somethings. Actually, well, yes, I suppose so. Maybe he's taken a trip somewhere far away. Now, even if that were the case, there is no way he'd come here to my place. After all, we haven't met since his mother passed away. I wonder why. Perhaps he hates me. But I have to say, a boy must be doing alright. If he can have a girl as beautiful as you as a girlfriend, Nishimura. Oh, it's actually Nanjo. Oh, right. Yuichi told me he wanted to hear more about Punpun when he was a child. Yes, as long as it wouldn't be a bother. Oh, of course not. It's just that my memory is not so good. Yeah, I can tell. I thought that was the case when you said the name wrong. Well, Punpun used to be quite an outgoing and talkative boy when he was young. Perhaps I'm biased considering I'm his parent and all, but he seemed much smarter and more mature than any other kids his age. Oh, it's a little unexpected. Nishimura, my home is just behind this building. Since you've come all this way from Tokyo, why don't you just come over and I'll tell you all about my son? Huff, 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 huff. Blighting. These two are... I don't want to say fucked, but... Excuse me, I'd like to make my purchase. Nanjo Sachi. The latest work by a highly anticipated newcomer, Huff. Yeah. And the pills continue. Ugh, cough, cough. Oi. You call yourself an employee here? Can't you see I'm in a rush? Sorry, sir, but our shop is currently inquiring the manufacturer for... Excuse me, I said I'd like to buy this, but there ain't anyone at the counter here. Can I eat this, Odin? Wow, oh, for goodness sake. You don't recognize each other? I mean, it's been some time, but like even when I meet old people that I've not seen in like, when I say old people that I've not met in like a long, long time, I still recognize them. People that I've not met since I was like 8, I still recognize their face. Excuse me, huh? Is that manga interesting? What, you mean this? Manga too, okay. Is that basically just the story of Punpun? Nah, it's pretty boring. All these characters are so clue. Is that basically just the story of... That's what it seems like. All these characters are so clueless. Fine, just get a manager already. Can I please get someone here at the cash register? Wow. Sorry if the place is a little messy. Sit wherever you want. You really don't have to. Now why did I put those cookies? Punyama. You in there? Huh? Who's she? Oh, she's just Punpun's girlfriend. And what's she doing here? Oh, hi, that's a long story. Let me introduce you. Nanjo. These are my fishing mates. He finally got the name right. Hello there. Oi, what was that now? Give us a more proper introduction. At least tell her our names. Hello, kids. Aren't you just adorable? They ran away. What's with it? Maybe they got nervous because they've never seen such a beautiful lady. You know, Nanjo, my pals and I have all been divorced once before. My current job and a low rent for this house are all thanks to my buddies. We often get together like this in the evening when we're free. Punyama, you should have told us we were going to have a guest. I could have at least brought more beer. Well, in any case, cheers. Do you need anything from me? The long face of Punpun continues. Anyway, final chapter for this. It's not good to leave empty cans on the ground. Sorry, my bad. Ike's like, yo, bro, where did he go? Did he just leave? Where did he go? Punpun, there's no point in saying sorry to me, huh? It's not the apology that matters. It's you realizing these kind of careless actions are what's ruining it for everyone. My goodness, now he's the moral leader. Well, the trash can by that store is almost always filled up to the top. I've told the store about it a couple of times before, but they haven't done much about it. Since it's clearly the store's negligence that's at fault, don't you think they ought to bear the responsibility of cleaning up empty cans by that store? You didn't check the trash can this time though, right? Like I said, it's almost always filled to the top. But it didn't check today, right? Huh? Alright, fine, I understand. Why don't we go back and check if it's full or not? I would have been like, yo, fuck you, bro. who do you think you're talking to, fam? I'm not gonna listen to you, bro. That would have been my response. This guy's way too calm. As you pointed out, it's certainly possible that the trash can wasn't full today. But if we go back and the trash can is full, I hope you'll admit that you're criticizing me on faulty grounds. And in such a case, I think it's only fair you owe me an apology. After all, not only did you offend me, you've also wasted my vote. I would be like, yo, fuck you, bro. I'm not wasting my time going back to the store, bro. Enough with the excuses. Can't you even throw away one empty can without grumbling? Why even picking a fight on me to lord over your sense of justice? I mean, out of all the people in that store, you just had to pick me out, even though others were causing more of a disturbance. Stop trying to change the time. Like this Punpun. Punpun is Batman now. Oh, he's Batman. I see how it is. You know, I think I'll just go throw this in a trash can by the vending machine just ahead from here. You can't complain then, right? But before I leave, I do want you to think one thing over. Out of all the people in that store back then, including me and you, who exactly the strangest person was? Just what exactly is it you want to say? It's not that I want to say something, it's rather that I want you to realize something. But whatever, this is getting stupid, so I'll just come out and say it. When I think of how people like you go on living just fine, even as they abuse their deluded notions of right and wrong, it honestly annoys me so much that I'm more depressed than angry. Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no, I'm about to commit the second murder, is that it? You're a real mouthy punk, aren't you? What was that? Guys like you piss me off the most. I said guys like you piss me off the most. Bamboo leaves are rustling, swaying close to the roof's edge. You kids are too good. This for a play at the kindergarten. Yeah, Kaidi's got the lead role as Orihime. But Tenma got stuck with the part of Shooting Star A. Well, that's this. Shooting Star A. Whoops. Guess I just turned it up there. Oh, what's wrong with beating the Shooting Star? I personally think it's pretty cool. Oh. Looks like he likes you. Kids are so warm. I just remembered. I think it was back when Punpun was in the 2nd grade. It was the first time Punpun had gone missing. This time, he was chasing a shooting star. And the police in the next town over finally managed to find him. That gave everyone quite the panic, I recall. There was this boy called Watanabe, who was Punpun's closest friend back then. Apparently, the boy had told his friends that he had once caught a falling star. It was just another one of those silly little lies that kids tell, but... yeah. Bonk. That's what's happening right now. Bonk. I think that Punpun didn't want to think of his best friend as a liar. So when he heard the news report about when to see the next group of falling stars, the two of them decided to go find and possibly catch them. Somewhere along the way, the two must have become lost, and Punpun ended up in the next town over, while his friend Watanabe was hit by a motorcycle at an intersection before being found by the police. Huff, huff, huff. And luckily, the worst case scenario was avoided and the boy wasn't seriously hurt. But he had to miss school for quite some time. As a result, Punpun became quite depressed. He blamed himself for the whole incident. Punpun. Fearing that he might again hurt someone else, my boy became very withdrawn and found it difficult to express his feelings. He also hardly made any friends since then. Yeah. Yeah. He was such a kind-hearted child. Such a kind-hearted child. Such a considerate little boy. But you know, there are some hardships you just can't solve with kindness alone in this world. I really should have taught him that a person needs to have some amount of selfishness to live a happy life. A certain amount of irresponsibility is just necessary to make in this world. But that child can be so stubborn, and once he decides on one thing, there's just no room to butt in and say otherwise. Was I mistaken? Yes, I'm sure I was. Why else would I be regretting it even now? Just what has been my life for? Hey, come on now. What's with you tonight, man? Getting all weepy. You rarely even talk about the past of us. Punpun, you can't. Please stop. Let's just leave, okay? Don't tell me he's gonna drop. Yo, they're about to leave, and he's like, fuck this shit. Yo, I would have been gone. Like, if somebody tried to beat me over with a stick, like, you're not fighting back in the first instance, right? If you're cowering, right, you're not fighting back in the first instance. Don't come back. But now this guy came back. He's like, I'm launching a counterattack. Fuck you, I'm killing you first. You're not getting away with this. Sorry. Huff, huff, huff. Oh. Beautiful, beautiful Nanjo. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, right, I said 3 people at the beginning. Well, 10 people. the manga of absolute broken people. That's basically what we're watching. You know what this reminds me of? Evangelion. This reminds me straight up of Evangelion. There's an Evangelion, everyone's broken for a different reason. Here, everyone's broken for a different reason, but they're not even broken. Because in Evangelion, they realize they're broken. Here, they're just like, we're not broken, we're A-okay. Some of them are like, what's wrong with me? Right? Some of them generally are like, what's wrong with me? Others are like, the world is wrong. I don't know which way of looking at things is worse. Thinking that the world is wrong or thinking that you are wrong. I don't know. Regardless, I like it. I ain't gonna lie. I like it. I like this manga a lot, I must say. But that's all I have to say. That's all there is for today. I'll see you all next time. Until then, have a nice day. Peace out. And as always, bye. Let me know what you all think. But yeah, have a nice day and bye.